From cotton fields to now, we clock, and yet we rise. I'm Jay Peasy, and welcome to Unredacted, the real black history, where we tell the truth they buried, we restore the names they erased, we reconnect the dots they shattered, from stolen lands to stolen votes to stolen souls. Because this ain't about bitterness, it's about balance. And that's on my ancestors. Now kick back, grab a snack, and share this with your circle. Because today's story is drenched in gospel, slicked with blood and organ chords. It's the kind of history that don't come with a textbook, but it's carved into the bones of Black America. And if you blink, they'll erase it again. Let's talk about the mother of the movement, Atlanta, Georgia, summer of 1974. The heat thick like syrup, street corners full of newsboys, barbecue pits, and kids catching lightning bugs in jelly jars. But inside Ebenezer Baptist Church, the mood was Sunday morning sacred, a holy hush before the hallelujah. At the organ, a woman, not just any woman, Alberta Christine Williams King, soft fingers dancing over keys, guiding voices through the Lord's Prayer, the congregation humming in robes and hand fans, the kind of peace you feel deep in your belly when the Spirit sits down beside you. She was the heart of that church, not the preacher, the pulse, a school teacher, choir leader, backbone, the queen who raised Martin and nursed the dream, a woman who'd buried her son in '68 and still kept the music going. But on June 30th, 1974, the devil walked in with a Bible flipped backward. Marcus Wayne Chanot was his name, 23, skin like mine, eyes empty, radicalized by a cult that told him black preachers were poison, said he was on a mission to cleanse. But what he did was contaminate. He stood, shouted, "You serve a false god," and opened fire in the house of the Lord. Blood on the pews, screams ricocheting off stained glass, a deacon down, a school teacher wounded, and Alberta King, mother of the dream, silenced at the organ. But oh, the irony, because she died playing forgiveness. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and click the notification bell right now. Also, let's have a red table talk in the comments. Back to the show. Now imagine being a black child in 1974. You just lost Dr. King 6 years ago. Malcolm before that. Medgar before that. Your uncles, your cousins, your neighbors fading into chalk outlines and mugshots. You hold your mama's hand tighter crossing the street. You don't know if your daddy coming home from work or jail or a traffic stop. And now the dreamer's mother gone too. Do you feel it? The weight of that silence? The kind of silence that sits in your chest like wet cotton. Heavy, stinking, slow. But here's what don't sit right with me. White America gave it 2 inches in the paper. Pastor's mother laid to rest in peace in Atlanta church shooting. Like it was random. Like it was senseless. Like it wasn't spiritual warfare. Let's get it clear. Marcus didn't just lay to rest a woman. He assassinated a symbol. He was a weapon aimed at continuity. The King family begged for mercy. They asked that his death sentence be lifted because they knew you can't end the violence by multiplying it. But still, he died in prison, forgotten. And so did Alberta's story. No holiday, no school play, no statue, no say her name campaign. Let me tell you something they don't teach in civics class. Alberta King's assassination wasn't isolated. It was part of a wave of spiritual sabotage that swept through black communities in the 60s and 70s. First they took Malcolm, then Martin, then Fred Hampton. And when we thought the bloodbath was over, they walked into God's house and took the dreamer's mother. That wasn't coincidence. That was a calculated cut, a psychological operation. You see, if you lay to rest the prophets, the people might rise. But if you silence the mothers, you lay to rest the memory. You lay to rest the womb of the movement, because black women have always been the soul keepers, the historians, the healers, the ones braiding lessons into our hair while green simmered on the stove, the ones whispering scriptures and resistance in the same breath. The ones who knew how to mourn, pray, and plot, all before sunrise. Let's talk about Alberta's world in 1974. That was an era where the economy was chewing through black families like moths through Sunday suits. Gas shortages, job loss. The Nixon recession hit black folks the hardest. Unemployment in some black neighborhoods was over 25%. Urban renewal became urban removal. We were getting pushed out, priced out, and policed up. And in the middle of all that, the black church stood like a lighthouse. It was the therapist's office, the community center, the rally point, the black bank, the university of the people. So when bullets flew inside that sanctuary, it wasn't just violence. It was a message. Nowhere is safe. Even your God can't protect you. That's psychological warfare, baby. And it messed us up. Let's talk mental health. But first, let's talk what we didn't call it. We didn't call it PTSD. We called it being tired all the time. We didn't call it depression. We called it just going through it. We didn't call it anxiety. We called it just nerves. And we sure didn't call it trauma. We called it life. But what happened to Alberta King? That was community trauma. The kind that seeps into your bones. That gets passed down through lullabies and panic attacks. That makes little boys flinch when a door slams. That makes little girls learn to cry quiet. Alright, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and click the notification bell right now. Also, let's have a red table talk in the comments. Back to the show, ain't it funny? How Bishop Eddie Long, who rose to national fame in that very same city decades later, spoke about generational curses and spiritual war, while Alberta King's name was left out of every Black History Month bulletin board. That's intentional amnesia. That's systemic forgetting. That's how they rob us twice. First of life, then of legacy. Let's clock that. Now let me make this plain so your soul can write it down. Erasing a mother from history. It's like deleting a heartbeat from a song. You may still hear the melody, but it's hollow. Say her name, Alberta King. And while we're here, let's ask the question, why isn't there a national holiday for the mothers of the movement? Why don't we teach Alberta alongside Coretta, Mamie Till, Betty Shabazz, and Mary Evers? These weren't just grieving widows. These were architects, midwives of freedom. And yet history keeps folding them into footnotes. Not here. Not on Unredacted. Because footnotes don't raise profits. Mothers do. Now let's bring it back to 2025. You're watching this on your phone, probably with 10 tabs open. Maybe you've been doom scrolling. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're trying not to feel. But hear me, we are not too far gone. Alberta's organ still echoes in our breath. Every time we choose peace in chaos, that's her. Every time we sing truth even, when our voice shakes, that's her. Every time a black mother holds her child a little longer, tells them to breathe before they speak, teaches them that softness is strength, that's Alberta living on. And maybe the story hurts. It's supposed to. But pain is not the end. It's the portal. Because we still here. We still rise. We still clock. Let me leave you with this soul seed. When they came for the dream, they thought laying the sun to rest in peace would end it. But it was the mother who kept it alive. And when they took her too, they forgot we multiply. We multiply. You can't silence a legacy and a legend. You can't cancel spirit. And baby, you can't erase a people who remember. This is Unredacted, the real black history. Where we clock the lies, we clock the legacy, and yes, we clock the crown even when it was stolen. Next episode, Tulsa wasn't a riot, it was a massacre. We're clocking Greenwood. The bombs, the silence, the generational theft, and the audacity to call it a riot like we brought it on ourselves. Tap in, because this is not your teacher's textbook. This is Black history unfiltered, unsanitized, and unshackled. And if it makes you uncomfortable, that's the point.